Hello and welcome to this week's Soul Weather Forecast. This is a weekly reading I do that's general and timeless, so whenever you find it, it is meant for you. This is a general a reading. It's for any and all signs. It's very general reading. So the way I do these, I pull an oracle card, a few tarot cards, get some clarification, and pull 3 final cards and from the universe. Now, I also want to mention that I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, and at 100 subscribers, I will be doing a thank you reading where I will be giving away 1 free tarot deck to 1 winner. So stay tuned for that and be on the lookout for it. There'll be details in that thank you reading on how you can enter to win that tarot deck. So we're going to go ahead. We're using the Halloween Oracle deck this week since we're getting close to Halloween. So let's see what we have here. This actually came out in the pick a card reading that I did just recently. So this is the Veil, the Future. This is similar to the Two of Swords in a lot of decks, with that blindfold being on. This is something that we can't see. This is also, I want to mention, this is very interesting because this is close to Samhain time. If you're Wiccan, it's almost Samhain. Samhain is usually around Halloween time. Also, it can represent the time of the Day of the Dead. And the reason why is because the veil it can be very thin between this, the living world and the non-living world, so to speak. So this is a time right now when our guides and ancestors and those that have passed on are able to communicate with us more easily, and we can communicate with them. So if we have dreams and hopes and fears and aspirations that we are seeking guidance about, this is a time when we can really seek and get that guidance that we need. Especially my understanding with everything that's going on astrologically, and we are going to have an eclipse as part of this week. So with that eclipse, the energy is just right for if you want to make a change in your life, if you want something that's going to be long-lasting change that's going to stick with you. This is the time to do it. This is the time to enact that change that we want to see in our lives, because we have the best chance of it sticking. So this is telling me, everything that I've just said, that I see that the veil as, our future. What do we want our future? We can't see the future. We don't know what our future is going to be. We can't see and look into the future. And that's what this veil is representing. It's representing the fact that our future is unknown to us. All we can do is wish and hope and work toward things that we hope will get us to the future that we want to see. So let's go ahead. We'll dive in and start getting some of the overall message with the tarot. Let's get our emoji card for the week. If you've watched any of these soul weathers, you know that I pull these emoji cards. So this really tells me that we might be a little bit in our feels this week. I think there's going to be some stuff that's going to come up that's going to just play with us a little bit. I think get us in our feels. This is a time where I just feel like there's just this stuff that's coming up. And I think that everybody is just in this spot where they want something to change. They want something to give. I mean, if you look in the world around us, if you look at the world around us right now, there's so much craziness going on in the world. And there's so much, pain. There's so much pain. There's so much that can get you in your feels, especially if you have a lot of deep empathy or deep empathy. I'm a person that has a lot of empathy, and sometimes I have to close myself off to the world and to the media and everything out there in the world, because if I expose myself to that too much, I feel and take that in. in. I take in that pain, and I take on that sadness and pain that is the collective's pain and sadness. And so sometimes I need a break from that. And so this is kind of like, this is almost like this, it's like a timeout, a break from the world and the chaos. And I think, the world around us has got us, really thinking about a lot of things with everything going on in the world. It's, we want that sense of justice. We want things to turn out. We want things to be better for our lives, because right now we just feel, like our hands are tied, and there's just this sense of like that things aren't going in the favor of right. Sometimes it just feels like everything's out of balance, and we want to get into balance. I think we're really desperately trying to find balance and find ways to bring balance and peace into our life and sense of justice. And then we have the 7 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. Let me go ahead and move these cards over just a little bit, because I see we're probably going to have problems with getting everything in the screen here if I don't. So this tells me that, we feel wronged. We feel like we've been slighted. We feel like, it's like no matter what we do, we can't get ahead. It's like everything's like the world's against us almost. That we just can't. Let me see I got to figure out what deck I'm going to clarify with here. Okay, I'm going to do this one. Okay, so we're going to use the Dark Tarot to clarify today. So this is really what I'm picking up is this sense of just, almost like a little bit of feeling like defeated in a way. It's like when we work on something, it just doesn't want to seem to go our way. It doesn't, like something gets sabotaged, or it just seems like, we get stabbed in the back, or just things aren't just working out the way we want them to. Like we just can't get ahead. We can't win, so to speak. And we just want something the scales to go in our favor, for things to work out in our favor here. And so on this Justice card, we have the Hermit. And that's why I said I feel like we're kind of in this space, this kind of just thinking about things, taking things in, getting a new perspective, trying to understand how we can change some things in our life, and how we can bring that into the world. How can we share ourselves out in the world in a way that is going to be fair and just to us and to everyone around us, so that we can live the best life that we want to live. So let's go ahead and can I get 2 cards of clarification on the 7 of Wands, please? We have the 10 of Wands. That's why I said I felt like working on stuff has been tough. Okay, there's 2 cards that came out, and one of them's even in reverse. So we have this. So interesting enough, that's actually, we have the 7 of Swords in reverse on the 7 of Swords in the upright. So that's almost like, this is that balance, that justice of wanting that to be righted, wanting the wrongs against us to be righted. Because this has caused us so much pain. And this is what I kind of mentioned, that this is around, when we work on things, we keep putting in effort and doing things in our lives, and things just don't work out in our favor. So that's how you're going to know if this message is resonating for you, because you're a person that feels like no matter what you do, it's never enough. Like you just don't seem like things go your way, that you just get the short end of the stick all the time, and that your life just feels like it's just wrong, that it's not, it's been painful, it's been hard, it's been challenging. And if that's you, then this is, this message is for you, because this is talking about righting the scales, bringing things into justice for yourself, where you've been slighted in the past, where, you've been challenged on working on things and them not going in your favor. favor. This is gaining a new perspective and understanding, what has gone wrong. Like taking that moment to really reflect and see why all of this has caused you pain. What was the lesson in this? What was the reason behind things falling through? And I think one of the things that needs to be addressed here needs to, maybe an understanding that, we don't know what makes us happy until we experience what makes us not happy. It's when we don't, when we go through things in life and we know that's what we don't want, that's how we narrow down the field to know what we do want, because it's every experience gets us closer to that final 10 of Pentacles life that we're all that the tarot represents, that all-encompassing everything for us that the 10 Pentacles represents in the tarot. So it's like your life has been very difficult and hard, and you're starting to understand, or if you're not, maybe you're here in this reading, you were drawn to it to hear the message that, you had to go through these difficult times. You had to experience these hardships and this pain and these things happening to you, so that you could realize and take a moment to realize, what went wrong, why, what you don't want, what you don't like, how can you change things, to have different experiences, to do something different. What doesn't work. Now you can narrow down and say, this didn't work. So now that I've tried these things and they didn't work, now let me try something new. Now I know those things don't work, or now I've experienced those things. I know that's not what I want for myself. I know that doesn't make me happy. And it's finding, weeding out the chaff, finding out what really is important to us and what we really need to focus our time and attention and effort on to bring justice to ourselves, to bring happiness to our lives. Can I get 2 cards of clarification on this 3 of Pentacles, please? Thank you. So we have the King of Cups. So this is, that's all that love. And it's like you're starting to pull back and not wanting to give of yourself, because this has been hard. This has been, a long time coming, where you've given and you've worked on things and you've given of yourself, and you're tired of giving. You're tired of giving of yourself. And so you're a little bit closed off and a little bit defensive because you're tired. You're tired of giving to things that just break your heart and feel like it's just sabotage, that things go wrong, every time it's like you work on something, it ends up breaking your heart or causing you pain in some way. And so it causes you to close off every time that happens, every time, you get this disappointment when things, fall apart and break your heart and you don't get the justice that you're seeking. And I think part of this too, I think that, I think part of this is with that veil card that came out, oracle card that came out at the beginning. This is probably a very good time to commune with your ancestors and your guides. If you do that thing, or if if you're a Christian, pray. Pray to your gods or whatever deities that you adhere to and subscribe to in this world. Whatever thing is bigger than you, that are the angels, the Jesus, the universe, there's lots of deities, lots of different things you can follow or believe in that's bigger than ourselves. We're all on different paths and we all see things very differently, so that you'll have to take that with whatever resonates with you and what fits right in your life. But I think this is a time to get in touch with your that higher that higher self, that higher, something outside and greater than you, ask for guidance, ask for assistance at this time to help you get on the right track, to get the justice that that you're seeking in your life, to find, what path you need to be on to get that justice that you're looking for, that you might be seeking. So let's go ahead. We're going to get 3 final cards from the universe. So we have the Ace of Swords. So that's gaining that clarity. That's really understanding where, we're putting the Hermit, trying to gain clarity on what is our justice. What would really make us happy? What do we really, really want? What would make us happy right now? And then being able to take action upon that. Once we understand what it is we want and need for ourselves, what is what is justice to us? What does that look like? But you have to understand what that is. And sometimes, you don't know what is justice to you or what will make you happy until you experience things that don't make you happy or that cause you pain. You can't have light without shade. You can't have happiness and joy without sorrow and pain. You have to experience one to understand the other. And that's kind of what the story is here and what it's kind of talking about. That, you will understand what, Empress can represent, abundance and creativity and love and light. It's a very wholesome, very well-rounded, loving, giving nature. It's somebody that can walk in the world, and wherever they walk, things happen. They make things happen, and they don't have to do anything to make things happen, just by being who they are, being their true authentic self, really, understanding who they are and feeling confident and good about who they are. And through that, they bring that light and love and joy into the world naturally. They don't have to fight for things. They don't have to, things gravitate towards the Empress. When you're in that Empress energy, things naturally, it's a very attractive energy, and things just gravitate, toward the Empress. So, once you gain clarity on who you are, what you want, what the justice is you seek, what you want out of your life, and can, and take action on that, communicate it, take action on it, then you're going to be able to be this great force in the world that will be just full of magnetism and have this powerful attracting power and magnetism to find, and attract the things in your life that you want that are going to make you happy. But first you have to gain clarity, and that might require either going within, being the Hermit, going within, and possibly, talking to, whatever things that you subscribe to that are beyond you. For me, it's the universe. That's what I refer to it as, the universe. And I know everybody has different things, and I do have guides, and I have spirit guides, and I have guardian angels, and I have all those things that I do talk to from time to time. So we all have our things, but this might be a good time to talk to those people, especially with the veil being thin, around the end of the month, Halloween. And I know there's going to be a lot going on. Definitely, I think it's going to be a time of really looking at some things. And I think a lot of people are going to be, changing some things up in their life. And I think that, people are really, I think things are coming up for people. They're starting to see where they need to change things in their life. And it's going to be, what those changes are will be different for each and every person. But I think at this time, we're all being shown what we need to see. We're being shown and given that clarity of what it is that we need to change in our life, what we need to do differently. And we're being given the opportunity to make that change if we decide to embrace it and do so. So I know that some things have been coming up for me, especially in the last few days, around things that I didn't even realize. I mean, they were starting to come and be, be shown to me in weird, strange ways, but I started to see behaviors in myself that I never recognized, until recently. And so it's things like that, that just come up out of the blue, that are going to come up this, in this time frame, that are just going to come up, out of the blue for you, that you're going to realize something that you've been doing that maybe has been holding you back and keeping you from the happiness that you want, or keeping you from doing, having the life that you want to live. And it's going to be up to us to whether we act on that, and whether we embrace that knowledge and wisdom that we're being given at this time, and being shown, that the universe is showing us. It's exposing us and showing to us, what we need to do to have a better life, and to make ourselves happy, and to have justice in our lives that we're seeking. We're being shown what we need to change, and it's up to us to take action and do that if we want to have this life of abundance and peace and joy that we're seeking. So beautiful, beautiful message. If that resonated with you, you know what to do. Just hit that like button. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, whatever as you see fit. Thank you so much, whether you're a subscriber, a returning viewer, or a new viewer. If you're new, welcome, and thanks for joining me this week. I appreciate every single one of you. Remember that, when I hit 100 subscribers, I will be doing that free thank you reading and be doing that giveaway for a free tarot deck. So stay tuned for that. Thank you again for joining me this week. I wish you the very best. Joy, love, and light.